What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your WA6570 in-wall speakers. As you can see, you get two speakers. You also get these coins here which you can use to tap the speakers, and you also get a cutting template so you can make a hole in your wall for your speakers. Now before we dive in, because these are 70 volt speakers, let me quickly explain how 70 volt systems work. 70 volt amplifiers like the one we have over here allow you to run a large amount of speakers at a fixed and constant wattage. So you could run over 100 speakers off this one 70 volt amplifier as long as you match the watts being drawn by the speakers to the ability of the amp. So for example, if the amplifier has 100 watts, I can tap each speaker at 10 watts, giving me the ability to use 10 speakers. For these in particular, we're able to tap the speakers by looking under the grill here, and then you're gonna see this dial that's gonna allow you to tap the speakers. So we can tap these speakers at 5 watts, 10 watts, 20 watts, or 40 watts, depending on the setup that we wanna have with our 70 volt amplifier. There's also an 8 ohm tap if you wanted to use these speakers with a standard stereo system, and there's also an off tap to turn off the speaker altogether. Now if you use these speakers with a multi-zone amplifier, this opens up the flexibility of where you can control your audio and how you can set up the space in each room. But the same principles will apply, so you have to match the wattage amount of your speakers to the recommended wattage amount of each zone. And the benefit of this is that you have multiple speakers set up in multiple rooms, and you have independent volume control of these rooms through your amplifier. If you want to learn more about 70 volt technology, check out our video on what is 70 volt. So we actually went ahead and set up a couple of these speakers on the wall behind us here, but we're going to show you step by step on how to set it up in your space. So to start, we're going to take this cutout guide here and place it on our wall where we want to mount our speakers. It may help to tape this to your wall so you can keep it there for reference. You can also use a level to make sure that where you want to place your speaker is going to be nice and even. After that, you're going to trace the outline of where you have the speaker set up on your wall. Now you also want to avoid any obstructions behind your wall where you want to mount your speakers, so to help in that you can use steps 3 and 4 to make sure that there's nothing behind these spaces. But if you know there's no obstructions behind your wall, you can skip these steps altogether. So after you've traced your outline on your wall, you can take a handsaw or anything that can cut into sheetrock to cut out the tracing that you made on your wall. So after you've made the hole in your wall, you can take this time to take your speaker wire that's going to connect to your speakers and to your amplifier for a nice clean look. For this, we also recommend making a small hole by your amplifier so you can snake the wire through and have that nice organized look while the speaker wire is running from your speaker to your amplifier. Now we also recommend using CL rated CL2 speaker wire that looks like this, and you can find plenty of options on that on our Rockville website. We actually recommend connecting the speaker wire to your speaker before you fully go to mount it. So you can take the speaker wire that's hanging from your wall and plug it into the red and black terminals here on the back of your speaker. So you'll plug the red end into the red terminal and the black end into the black terminal. Now if you plan on running multiple speakers to your amplifier, you can wire the speakers together through parallel wiring. Parallel wiring just means that you're connecting the positive and negative terminals from one speaker to the positive and negative terminals to another speaker. The best way to do that is by taking each end of your speaker wire and twisting them just like this. So we're going to do that for the red wire, and we're doing that for the black wire as well. So then we're going to take the two conjoined ends and connect them to our first speaker, with the red going into the positive terminal and the black going into the negative terminal. Then you can take the other ends and plug them into the positive and negative terminals of the next speaker. Then to set up even more speakers, you can repeat this process all the way down your chain until you connect it to the output or one of the zones on your amplifier. So the next thing we can do is tap our speakers so we know how much power we want them to draw from the amplifier. To do that, you can take one of the included metal coins and fit that inside of the slot here by the tap, and from here you're able to twist the dial to the desired tap. You'll also notice these two arrows here along the taps, and this is just to signify whether it's being used with 70 volt or 100 volt. So this bottom arrow represents the 70 volt and this top arrow here represents the 100 volt. For today, we're going to tap these speakers at 40 volts so that they're drawing the most power from the amplifier. So after you've wired and tapped your speakers, you can then go ahead and mount your speaker into your wall. And to make sure the speakers don't come out after we've mounted them to the wall, we're going to be using these latches here on the back of the speaker. So once you have the speaker mounted in the wall, you're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and flip the latches by taking the screwdriver and lining it up to the screws along the speaker. And you'll see as I twist the screwdriver here that these latches flip and they're going to latch onto your wall so that they don't come out. But you actually want to keep twisting it in so that the tension builds between the latch here and your wall. And you'll want to be sure to do this for all 6 latches. And once you have your speaker all set to your wall, you can complete the look by taking your grill, which is magnetic, and placing it right over the speaker, and it attaches just like that. So following the steps we just went over, we connected these speakers on our wall here to this amplifier. So now let's go ahead and hear how they sound. Wow, they sound great. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your WA6570 in-wall speakers. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.